Oh, and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Friday episode of Coach and Company here on Stadium Valley Sports Live, Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. We don't care how you consume us. We just care that you consume us. I am the coach, and I navigate this ship every single day. Now, sometimes I got to put myself out front. I say, you know what? If we're going to have a 500 day, I'm going to lead by example. And that's exactly what I did last night. 2-0. Your boy, and you know we value our premium pop-ups. Last night, we had an incredible show, and I got to give our shout-out. He's not even here yet, to Big Cheesy. Last night, Seattle over premium. That was a play for the show, for the brand. They scored 8 goals. So, Big Cheesy, you got your first win on the premium pop-ups. Now, we always have a busy day here at the studio. In addition to the morning show, we have a supporting podcast around 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time. 20 or 30 minutes digging a little bit deeper into the world of sports. Then every single weekday, SiriusXM, channel 156, Off the Ropes with your boy. Everything that is pro wrestling. And then any of it on demand, subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. We would really, really appreciate it. Now, I mentioned the premiums. We did 3 nights this week, 3 different nights. It pays for itself in literally like 1 or 2 plays. It is so much fun. Just ask all the people with the stars next to their name. They're there every single night. We have a ton of fun. I said last night, Big Cheesy, Mikey P. This is a public service announcement. We've hit 4 straight first quarter plays. Come on, right from the jump. All you first quarter degenerates out there, we got you covered as well. And never forget, we want you repping the merch. I just talked to our merch lady this morning. We got 3 new items on deck that will be out next week before the holidays. All right. Fridays are always big. College football weekend, big. NFL, big. So I had to bring in my big guns today. And I believe, oh yes, they have arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to beat the books. Oh, and look who I have today. My goodness. And by the way, shout out Big Cheesy arrived. You're right. It was a big night in the pop-up. Everybody can be a part of it. Now, he's got the best damn beard in the game. And right now, he is busy over at Prize Picks. Say good morning to Soupy. What's good, my man?
What's going on? Yeah, we are busy right now. College football, NFL, NBA, NHL. We cover it all on prizepicks.com/play.
Now, whenever they have an international break, it drives me insane because I don't get my 5-pack. I don't get my Footy Friday. But we do have breaking news coming out of the world of soccer here in the United States, live from the Dirty Big Chuck. Educate me.
Morning, Coachman Company. Yeah, big news coming out. Looks like the MLS, they're going to go to the schedule where they're going to match it with the other top leagues. So they want to be like the big boys. They want, instead of having their own little share of the market, they want to go heads up. So we'll see how that goes. And they're taking away that $99.99 a month and $14.99 or $99.99 season or $14.99 monthly. They're just putting it in one with the Apple TV. So like Paramounts and the Peacocks, you just pay one price and you get to see all your MLS weekly matches.
I love it. It takes a lot of the nines out of the mix. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. You get you get Apple TV, you get the MLS every single game. It's a big deal. Apple realizes they're a $1 trillion company. They don't need it. How about we grow the platform? Super smart. Big Chuck, thank you very much. Now, last night, I'm always trying to draw inspiration from my guys, from my crew, from my team. And so, Zeno, as we were doing our premium pop-up last night, and Troy could not figure out how to score, I imagined you. And I imagined your head, and I imagined your blood pressure. Were you a little upset last night that the Jets were the only thing that you hit on the show yesterday?
I only hit it because an idiot kicker missed a field goal. I mean.
Oh, what is this? Oh. So now, whenever we imagine you, this is our Zeno meter on how.
I mean, look, I decided not to show up to play a football game last night, and at least it was over early, right?
Yes.
I mean, I got one half of it right. I knew Old Dominion was going to score. Takes half credit.
We're always going to turn something into fun. And that was fun last night. You were a big topic on the premium pop-up. We're like, what would Zeno do? That may be a shirt we make. What would Zeno do? And we said, well, this is his blood pressure right now, as Troy kept turning the ball over time after time. Oh, my goodness. You're the gift that keeps on giving. We love you so much. You're welcome. All right, boys. It's a big day. Easy there. It's a big day, and I'm coming right. I told everybody yesterday, every single day moving forward, I will make picks. We're going to catch with the coach, but I'm not going to go first. So I need to know who wants the smoke the s'more. How long did that take? Damn.
I was actually trying to let somebody else go. That's why I was slow, but no one was going.
Nobody was going. All right. You got to lead by example. Soupy, best bets. Go.
I am starting with Clemson. I'm taking them on the money line to win tonight, going to Louisville, because Louisville does not play well at home. They lost to Cal, in which they were favored by 18 points. They only beat Boston College by 14 in a game they were favored by 25. And Cade Klubnik, he's actually been playing well since that first game of the year against LSU. He has a passing touchdown in every game. I think Clemson needs this game. They're going to win this game. And now I'm going to go to the ice. I'm going to the Flyers. They're taking them on the money line against the Blues. They're fourth in goals, third in penalty kill. Their defense is incredible this year, and they're going against the Blues. Joey Binghamton, that magic year he had last year is gone. 3.21 goals allowed per game. I think the Flyers get it done against St. Louis.
How would you rate that, Soupy?
7.2.
7.2? What are we doing? 7.2? Big Chuck, what would you rate that?
7.2.
Oh my God, the team! The camaraderie just gonna make me sick to my stomach. All right, there is no Footy Friday today, but alas, we do have World Cup qualifiers. We do have some international friendlies if you really need a fix. So, Big Chuck, I need one. Just give me one to get me through my day.
Not just World Cup qualifiers, but European World Cup qualifiers. Poland, Netherlands, and this Polish side, they come in averaging 1.6 team goals at home, while the Dutch, they score an average of 2.7 team goals on the road. I'd see 3 at worst in this one. That way we'll go ahead and back the over 2.75, even though I think we could possibly see 4 more for full pay. NHL nightcap, soccer on ice, Vancouver, Carolina. I'm going to keep this one simple. Vancouver's went over the total in 7 straight, and Carolina 7 at 8 at home. We'll go ahead and back another over 6 in the Queen City.
I got to be honest, I was not that into hockey, but when you do it live and you're doing live plays, it's a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun. So if you like live plays, you can join us in the evening. Zeno, we have a very important question from the chat. From a very important member. So if you could answer this question coming up right here before you do your plays, because we know how you feel about DG and these certain picks that he has. We're probably frozen, which is why he's not coming up. But Raphael wants to know, what would you do if your kids turn out to be kickers?
They would no longer be my kids.
Just cut and dry, baby. They're out of the house.
They're not
Boom.
allowed. They're not allowed kickers. It can be anything else they want in life, not that.
Hey, fair enough. That's kind of what I expected you to say.
I'm raising good humans, not the worst humans on the planet.
Fair enough. Oh, my God, you make me laugh. All right, best bet, Zeno. You got to bounce back. It's a bounce back Zeno day. Let's go.
New York Knicks team total over 122.5. The Knicks are finishing up what is now a 7-game homestand. They have played 9 games at home this year. They've gotten to at least 119 in 7 of them. I didn't know that's not 122, but it puts us right in the window where we need to be here within a bucket. And I'll add that the Knicks, one of those 2 times they didn't get to 119 was the last time out in a game against the Magic on a back-to-back. Hey, they just in, Miami's not that good defensively. They play up and down fast. So do the Knicks. There should be a lot of scoring in this one. Knicks go over their team total 122.5. And have you guys ever heard the premise of you lose the same game twice? That's what's going to happen to Penn State this week as they take on Michigan State, who is coming off a bye. I know Michigan State's offense is terrible, and they've lost 6 straight. But Penn State left it all out on the field this past weekend against Indiana. I don't know how they get up again for another game on the road in conference. Penn State may win this thing, but I don't think they're winning by 2 scores. Give me the Spartans plus 7.5.
I love that analysis. I love that take. And you said the Knicks and the Heat potentially could have points tonight. Did I hear you say that?
That would be correct.
It's rare as a time, gentlemen, that I get to do this with Zeno, but apparently we got a little say it all with me.
Sorry.
That was literally the worst one we've ever done. Like, if there was enthusiasm, it was like a -2.
Okay. I'll try again.
All right, let's try it again. Say it all with me. Oh my God, it's like nails on a chalkboard. All right, I'm going to go. There's going to be a ton of points tonight. The Knicks kind of took their last game off against Orlando. They're like, it's back-to-back. It is what it is. But the Heat come in. It's Madison Square Garden. It's a Friday night. It has all the makings of a ton of points tonight. I can see 126, 122. It'll be sweat-free. We'll cash with 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. It's going to be a ton of fun tonight. And the Knicks will cash their team total over. Then, on a Friday night, stay with me. I know Minnesota stinks, but this is a very low total. And a lot of people were talking last week, and they said, hey, Oregon, Indiana should have been penalized for how they won late against Iowa. Well, Dan Lanning, he listens to that stuff. He sees that stuff. He wants to make a statement, and he will do it tonight. I foresee Oregon covering 35 of these 44.5 points. All I need is Minnesota to get to 10. That's all I need. And we cash this over. And I go 4-0 over 2 days. Simply what I do. Now, gentlemen, dog of the day. And lately it's been a favorite world. So, Soupy, I know you like Clemson already. UCLA against Arizona, Heat, and the Knicks. Soupy, where would you go if we had to?
I'll go with the Heat, man. They're one of the top scoring teams in the league right now. I think they could compete with the Knicks. Like you said, it's going to be a higher scoring game. So that way, the Heat could take it.
Big Chuck, where would you go if you had to?
I'm on the side with my man Soup on the Heatles. I like them in this spot. I also think you can look at their team total also. I think they're going to score their fair share of points.
Which team? Sorry, which team?
Heat.
Team total. Okay, I'm going to look that up too. I love how they're playing. They're probably my favorite team to watch play right now in the NBA. Zeno, where would you go if you had to here?
I already bet Clemson +3 earlier in the week, so I'm going with Clemson because I think they win the game outright.
Wow, so you agree with everything Soupy said. Wow. Louisville, and that Cal game that you're referring to, that happened just last week. And 18 points, and they controlled the game. They look like the better team. So I wonder if Louisville, Zeno, is starting to get a little bit tired as we head into the most important part of the season. Somebody from the ACC's got to go to the playoffs. Somebody.
Yeah, well, they're a little bit tired, but they're also a lot of bit fugazi, and I don't trust Louisville at all. And Dabo is playing maybe for his job or just some semblance of respect, and wouldn't mind playing the role of spoiler, keep his bowl game hopes alive with a win tonight.
I wonder really how hot is the hot seat at Clemson? Because he makes a lot of money. The buyout's a big number. We know that teams and schools are paying out a lot. I don't know if they want to pay that. By the way, in the chat, Big Cheesy says, wow, Coach Cash is with me and starts making picks. I love it. No, Big Cheesy, you're not dictating anything here at the brand. Although I do appreciate the over last night because I played it personally as well. All right, gentlemen, I see a lot of green check marks, but we're just getting started. You know, on a Friday, we have to get ready for the weekend. In college football, a ton of big games. National Football League, a ton of big games. NBA Cup is back tonight. This is everything that we could possibly want in the world of sports, and y'all start with us here every single morning, and it means the world to us. Coming up next, is Texas really a playoff team? We'll find out in about 24 hours. This is Coach and Company. We're a vibe. It is Friday on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Come on back. Okay, we continue on, you degenerates, on our YouTube channel. And Subi, let me start with you because last night the Patriots, they won exactly the way that a lot of people thought they would. Workmanlike, they win by 13, right on the number. I bought it up to 14.5, so I cashed. But Drake May is now the clear-cut betting favorite for the MVP. Should he be?
Yes, he's right now. They're on an 8-game winning streak. They're one of the best looking teams in the league. Drake May is having an amazing sophomore year. He's his second year in the league, and he's doing these things. Clear cut MVP.
Zeno?
He's not winning the MVP, and he's not the favorite. He shouldn't be. I mean, that's
Who,
just the reality of it.
who should be?
To him. It'll go to Stafford. Especially if the Rams win this game this weekend. They're actually playing a real football team. It's the Seattle Seahawks, whereas the Patriots played the Jets. So if Stafford wins this game, and if the Rams end up with the number 1 seed, in reality, Stafford's winning the MVP because voters are provincial. So
They are. They really, really are. So if it's not Stafford and it's not Drake May, give me a third name that you think realistically, because we have 7 games left, 6 games. So basically it's a 6-week run here.
if Josh Allen and the Bills overtake the Patriots for the AFC East title, Allen will get back in the conversation.
Okay. You agree with that, Soupy?
No, I think it's Jonathan Taylor. He's having one of the most amazing seasons that I've ever watched. I think Daniel Jones isn't who he is without Jonathan Taylor backing him up in that run game.
I don't think we disagree with you.
We don't give that. When Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 and they didn't give it to him, we quit giving
it. Out the window. Yeah.
It'll never happen again. Saquon didn't get it for 2,000 either. There are no running backs who will win that award.
I wonder, baby, because you know how, these voters are sheep. So they're going to follow whatever. And they go, hey, maybe let's shock the world. Let's do something that everybody says we won't do. To me, that's the only way I agree with Zeno that they can make this happen. All right, coming up next, it's a big college football weekend. And 6 weeks ago, if I would have told you Texas was in the conversation to get into the playoffs, when we get to the middle of November, you would have said I was crazy. Crazy like a fox. We break it all down. We're going to go back to school because we're back live on Stadium and Valley Sports Live, and just count it with me. 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Coach and Company. It's a vibe. I want smiles. I want positivity. This is how you start your weekend right here. Tell all your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channels. Hit that like button on your way in. And tell everybody how much you love Stadium as well. Now, as you get to the middle of November, we've now had 2 weeks of the college football playoff rankings. It's now getting serious. These coaches understand where they're at, where the committee thinks that they are at. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very important weekend as we go back to school. All right, Soupy and Zeno, we're going to start with a game that could have repercussions. It's a matchup of 2 ranked teams, but this team almost beat Oregon a week ago. We're going to start in the Big Ten with Iowa and USC. Soupy, let me start with you. This may not be a big game to a lot of people, but this has a lot of repercussions across college football. Your take on this one?
Yeah, USC, they struggle on the road this year, but it's a good thing that they're playing in SoCal because they've won every game by 2 possessions. And this is just another year of the same Iowa team. Good defensively, terrible offensively. USC, one of the most explosive offense with Jaden Malachi and Makai Lemon. I think Jaden Maivia and Makai Lemon. I think that explosive duo is going to be able to go all over this Iowa defense. I'm taking USC to cover.
Okay, and being at home, obviously, they're a little different than on the road. But Iowa, they played tough teams, really well this year.
Same premise as I talked about in my picks with Penn State. Iowa left everything all out on the field last week to try and go beat Oregon and came up short. Don't know how they get back up for a road game where they're traveling all the way across the country for an early body clock start for those guys at noon. And USC's offense at home is much different than it is on the road. The Iowa offense is much improved, but they'll struggle to play catch-up here. As long as USC doesn't beat themselves, turn the football over, they'll get out to an early lead. Iowa will try and play catch-up, but they won't succeed. I'll lay the 6.5.
I'm going to lay that 6.5 with you. They're getting some momentum. They beat Nebraska. They beat Northwestern. And guess who's on tap for next week? At Oregon.
And that's my biggest concern. That USC will be flat here because they're looking ahead to Oregon.
No, I agree with you a lot. So now let's go to another game that has repercussions. A team that when you looked at their schedule 6 weeks ago, you're like, there's no way OU is going to be even in the conversation. They're absolutely in the conversation, Soupy, and they now go to Alabama, who's in one of the spots for a bye. Your take?
Alabama seems to struggle against the mobile quarterback. They struggled against Bo Pribula. They only beat Missouri by a field goal. They lost to Tommy Castellanos in Florida State. Lenore Sellers, if he didn't fumble that ball at the end of the game, possibly South Carolina could have ruined Alabama's season. I think John Meutier is better than all of those quarterbacks. I don't know going to Tuscaloosa if he can win it, but I do think that Oklahoma can cover this game.
Every time we think they're not going to play well, they do. Tennessee, they shocked all of us the way they dominated that game. So can they go to Tuscaloosa, Zeno, and not just cover, but can they win on the field?
No, they're not winning this game. What sort of revisionist history are you living through, Soupy? My God. I mean, let's look at what Alabama did. First of all, that South Carolina game was after 4 consecutive ranked games against Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Tennessee. Of course, it was a letdown spot. Who cares about what happened in August against Florida State? This is not an Oklahoma team with an offense that can actually move the ball against Alabama. It's going to be low scoring. I love the under here. And it's going to be a sloppy game similar to what they did last week against LSU. But Alabama is a very good money line parlay candidate, to be honest with you, and I would actually pair them at USC in a money line parlay because I don't think either one of those teams are losing this game at home.
Okay. A little hot about the revisionist history there.
The reality is Alabama is clearly in the same category as the 3 best teams in the country.
Revisionist history, the game that happened 2 and 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I'll give you Florida State, but Missouri and South Carolina were just a couple weeks ago.
Alabama was ahead by double digits the entire game, and they let Missouri score because I laid 3.5 with Alabama in that game and got backdoored on it.
And that's why I'm laying the 6 with Oklahoma.
There it is. They didn't cover. That's why.
Well, because I watched the whole game, and Alabama had an awful turnover coming out of the second half on the first possession on their own 5-yard line that gave a free score to Missouri that even made the game resembling something close.
I'm just letting it resonate for a second.
Still cashed on it, so who cares?
I love when you two do this. I love it so much. All right, game number 3. And this is a big one. And this is what we talk about with the eye test. And when you're a Notre Dame team and you have 2 losses, you do what they did last week. You go out against a team that potentially was a part of the group of 5 conversation in Navy, and you beat them by 39. Now, this week, you go on the road to a team that, yes, Pitt very much is alive for a playoff spot because the ACC, it stinks. How good, Soupy, does Notre Dame have to play this week and cover at Pitt?
I think how balanced they are is going to help because I think Pitt is going to commit to stopping the run. When they have 7 or more in the box, they allow just 3.6 yards per carry. But Notre Dame has CJ Carr, who is 9th in 20-yard passes. His offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock, he was the offensive coordinator for LSU when Jaden Daniels was there. I think it turned out pretty well for Daniels. So I think that's what they're going to do. If they stuff the box, stop the run, Carr is going to be able to explode for the passing game and go all over this Pitt. I'm taking Notre Dame to cover. I think they slaughter.
Wow, you're going to lay the 12.5.
I
okay.
will.
I mean, it's they have to win by a lot. There is no room for error. This is just what Notre Dame in the spot they're in. They already have the 2 losses, Zeno. So I actually agree with Soupy. I also think the over could be in play because they're not taking their foot off the gas pedal.
You know, it's like you guys do this to me on purpose. I'm kidding. I agree 100% with you. I mean, Notre Dame is going to absolutely mollywop this team. Did you see what head coach Pat Narduzzi said this week? That he said this is not a big game. It's not important to them. He doesn't care if Notre Dame scores 100 because it's not a conference game. And Pitt knows their only way to the college football playoff is through the ACC title game. So what happens when Notre Dame goes up big early? Guess what? We're yanking dudes out. We got an ACC game to play next week. Oh, by the way, let me add this in here, guys. That Notre Dame has won 47 straight games away from home as a double-digit favorite. Under Marcus Freeman, they're 7-0 in this role with all but 1 game decided by at least 10 points. Or at least 2 scores, rather, I mean. So Notre Dame is absolutely going to kill Pitt this week.
That is
their last chance to impress the committee against a ranked opponent. They are not taking this game lightly.
I had not seen those quotes. I had not even heard those quotes. That's incredible content right there. because I'm looking at a team that right now maybe the total is the play here, because we don't know if they would actually do that. We assume they would do what Zeno just said, but Pittsburgh has won 5 in a row. They have scored at least 30 in every single game. They just beat Stanford by 15. They scored 53 against NC State, who beat Georgia Tech soundly. So this is a fascinating one. Zeno, I think you might be onto something. Because they go to Georgia Tech next week, and then they got Miami. Mm-hmm. So those are the two games that really matter.
A look-ahead spot, too, for Pittsburgh. Like, with Georgia Tech, the top team in the ACC right now on deck, a non-conference game here, there's nothing they're risking for this game. Nothing.
I'm all Notre Dame now. All right, the final, and this is the big one. And this is where the playoff comes into play. And this is why they invented the playoff, because it can't be one bad loss and you're out. You can get better throughout the season and get back into the conversation. And that's exactly what Texas has done. Take all the early season stuff out. They've got Georgia left. They have Texas A&M left. 2 top 5 teams. Soupy, if they win those 2 games and don't stub their toe in between, Texas will be a playoff team.
Yeah, it's incredible to see how well they've sort of improved themselves over the last few weeks. I've had trouble looking at this game and trying to pick a side, because these two kind of take each other out in sort of a way. Texas, they get pressured a lot, but Georgia, they don't know how to pressure the quarterback. Texas has struggled finishing drives. Georgia allows opponents to finish drives. So everything cancels out, but what I think is going to happen is I think both these quarterbacks, they can air the ball out, and I think that's what's going to happen. I'm taking the over 49.5. I think both teams could get very close to 30 points each.
Zeno, how do you feel about this one? You're laughing.
I'm on the first half under 24.5. I mean,
you can't make it up. Tell me why.
Because Texas's offense isn't good. That's number one. And as Soupy said, Georgia has had trouble finishing drives, and they've been a notoriously slow starting team. Like, you can't look at last week when they boat raced Mississippi State as you can't get caught up in the recency bias that all of a sudden Georgia's fixed all their first half problems, and they're going to lead at half against it. They've trailed at half or been tied in every game with the exception of Kentucky, and then until last week, Mississippi State. So high-level competition has given them problems in the SEC, and I don't see how they're going to score against a very good Texas defense. And why would you trust the Texas offense to put up points when they've shown you repeatedly by getting down early in multiple games that they have to play catch-up late, and Sarkisian makes halftime adjustments? And, oh, by the way, that's the other thing. Like, there's a huge coaching advantage to Kirby Smart. Steve Sarkisian is like paint by number compared to the Mona Lisa that is Kirby Smart. Like, it's bad.
There does seem to be a in-game advantage, I will say that Kirby Smart has, as opposed to watching Texas and some of the decisions they make. My other question is this: 20 seconds for each guy. Do you think Georgia, by the end of the season, will be in a position for a bye, Soupy?
No, I still like Alabama and Texas A&M. I think they're the 2 best teams. I don't think Georgia will get to the SEC championship for that.
I'll tell you this much. Indiana, Ohio State, Alabama, and A&M. When the 4 of those teams meet in a conference championship game, nobody should drop out of the top 4, regardless of the results. And, oh, by the way, Texas splits with Georgia and A&M. There's still a path as a 9-3 team to get in the playoff.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay. Which game do they have to win?
Doesn't matter. Both in the top 5, so they just have to split with them.
Okay.
Pick off one of them, and there's a chance with help at 9-3 they'll get in.
Okay. At the end of the day, it's beautiful that we have these discussions. And this is why the 12-team playoff works, and it's fun, and it allows us to have these type of days. All right, still to come. We're only halfway home. We've got the NFL, a ton of big games this coming Sunday. Make it or break it. Line in the sand. Coach and Company, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. Well, the Zenometer works for a lot of different reasons. And when you take food off thy table, then my man Zeno ain't going to be happy. And Mr. Zeno, Steph Curry, Under Armour, 12 years, split, he gone. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I probably should have just stuck to shoes instead of trying to do an entire clothing line. Probably overplayed their hand a little bit on young Steph. That's business, though. You understand it, right? I mean, this stuff happens. Yes, I get certain athletes stay with the shoe brand their entire career in the NBA, and other guys bop around. It just, timing, recency, and all those things play into it. But I'm not like totally surprised by it. But you would have liked to have seen him stayed with one brand.
It doesn't seem that way. At 37, Big Chuck, how do you go to Nike or Adidas at this point?
I'm not sure. I thought when you think of Under Armour, you thought of Steph. He kind of carried them on his back. He was their main focus for so many years. So it's kind of crazy. I wasn't even aware. So that's how shocked I am to even hear about it. So I'm very surprised.
And that's probably why they ended it, because nobody else was aware, because they weren't selling shoes. They haven't sold his shoe, Soupy, for a long, long time. I mean, like meaningful sales.
And to me, it doesn't matter that Steph Curry is 37. He's at the twilight of his career. He's still Steph Curry. He's still one of the most notable players in the NBA. He revolutionized the NBA. Even after his career is over, I think he's still going to have that name to sell whatever brand he's with. That's why I think either Nike, Adidas, Reebok, New Balance, Puma, I think they're all going to try to shell out money for Curry.
Okay. That's it. I mean, it's a bad comparison, but Jordan, his shoes went way up after he retired, and he's making $150 million in his own pocket for brand Jordan, $1.5 billion business per year. Maybe Steph Curry can start his own thing over at Nike. He won't get his own building, but perhaps he could start it. All right, it's time to talk NFL, and there are some big-time matchups. The Patriots, they're done already for this week. They're sitting back and saying, hey, boys, just go beat yourselves up. We'll watch, and so will we. We're back in 5 seconds. All right, it is week 11 in the National Football League, and the New England Patriots, they want to be the 1 seed. They want to say, hey, Bills, Chiefs, hold my beer, because they're already right there at the top, and they've already won in this week. But other teams have some big-time matchups, so it's never too early to kick it off. Starting with the 405 game out west in the NFC West, and this has proven to be the best division in football, at least thus far. Subi, I'm going to start with you. The Seahawks and the Rams tied at the top. Both quarterbacks playing at an all-time high level for them. Your take on the Seahawks and the Rams?
This is going to be a fun game to watch. This is a game that I want to pay attention to. And I'm looking at Cooper Kupp because even though he said, oh, this is just another game, come on. This is a big game for you. This is an important game for you. Whatever his reception prop is, I'm taking. I think that Sam Darnold is going to target him in this game. And they still have Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is leading the league in receiving yards. I think this is going to be an explosive game. I like it at 48.5. I think both teams could get to close to 25 points. I'm taking the over.
What was the name of that wide receiver?
Njigba.
I said Njigba.
No, that's not what you said.
I said Njigba.
That's not how you say it. You're still not saying it right.
Say it again, Soupy.
I like to call him JSN. We're tight like that. I call him JSN.
Okay.
He's my boy.
He's your boy.
Yeah.
He's definitely your boy.
I watched him at Ohio State enough to know that he's my boy.
Oh my God, I love you guys so much. I don't even know where to go here. Zeno.
Yeah,
I like the over here. To be honest with you. Okay, thank you.
Bet numbers, not teams. Find a 3.5 and take Seattle, who's won 11 of their last 12 games on the road. Extremely well coached team. This thing probably lands on 3, and it's no reason why odds makers are moving off it. They'll live with a push and be totally fine with it. They don't want liability on either side, understanding how good both these teams are. But if there's a 3.5 out there, grab Seattle and take it.
All right. Big Chuck, let me come over to you because that's obviously great advice. I like the over. How are you attacking this game?
Definitely looking at the over, even though these two teams tend to go under when they get together. But surprisingly, the Rams, they've owned this Seattle team, 8-1 ATS, their last 9, 5-1 at home. But I kind of like the Rams in this spot. They this the pathway to win the division. I know a lot of people are going to be on Seattle. I think there'll be a nice public side, but I'm sure a lot of people, if they can get the 2.5, would love to get that Seattle teaser piece also. So, but I liking the Rams and leaning towards the over.
Yeah, plus 8.5, plus 9. That would feel pretty good in a teaser if you can find a welcome dance partner, as it were. All right, game number 2. We're going to stay in the same division because when you talk about windows closing, right now you've got the Chiefs at 5-4, and then you got the 49ers, and they have been the NFC version of the Chiefs the last several years. They're the team you have to go through, and now the Cardinals, they got boat raced by Seattle last week. So, Soupy, how impressive do you think the 49ers will be in Arizona?
It's tough because the 49ers they've not looked impressive week to week. They play well in certain weeks, then they get dogged. They got dogged by the Texans. The Texans. I think with Brock Purdy back, I think they're going to rely more on Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to get close to 25 touches in this game. And Arizona, their defense is so bad right now. I think Christian McCaffrey can have that game. I think they can push the 49ers to a win. I'm taking them to cover.
And right now, Zeno, the 49ers have a 6 next to their name in the win column, and that is very much alive for a wild card spot and 1.5 games back in their division. They're still very much alive in this thing.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, I've seen more 2.5s out there than I have 3, which makes Arizona a great teaser piece as well. Remember, during that 5-game losing streak, they lost all 5 games by a combined 13 points. Their defense last week wasn't the problem. They had 2 sack fumbles returned for touchdowns that added up to 14 points in that game early, and it got out of hand. And when a game script gets out of hand like that, everything changes. So I think the defense actually for the Cardinals is one of the strengths of this team. Jacoby Brissett gives them a legitimate passing attack. The problem is you got to worry about no Marvin Harrison Jr. this weekend. That's the real issue. That with him out of the game, it makes me very nervous that the offense is going to struggle, and it looks like it would be an under-style game to me.
They really were starting to figure out how to use him too. They against the Cowboys are like, oh, we've got the best athlete on the field. Let's throw it to him over and over and over. And that's what you do with the star. And without him in there, man, that changes a whole lot when you're talking about Arizona. Big Chuck, let's flip it over to the game of the weekend in the AFC. You have first place Denver. They've got a chance to show what they're all about. But when the Chiefs and Andy Reid come off of a bye, they are dangerous. So the Chiefs, this is a must win. They cannot fall to 5-5. Your take?
I'm liking the Chiefs in this spot. Plus, it's a revenge spot. Remember that 38-0 beatdown they took last season. So I'm sure that's fresh on their memory bank. So, yeah, I'm liking the Chefs in this one. I wish that 3.5, that's kind of luring you to take some. I'm sure a lot of people will like to take Denver as a home dog, getting that 3.5 hook. And I also look at a sneaky over in this one. I think we can potentially see some points, even though Denver games tend to go under. I'd like the Chefs in the over.
Chefs and the over. Zeno, let me come to you because this is a spot the Chiefs during the Patrick Mahomes era are not used to being in. They're not used to being in a must-win spot because 5-5, that's going to be a hard hill to climb just to get into the playoffs. Chiefs feeling any pressure this weekend?
I mean, yeah, they got to keep winning. That's the unfortunate part of what they did in the beginning of the year. Much like the Ravens, they both dug themselves holes they have to get out of and very little margin for error. But there are 4s popping up in the marketplace right now, and I'm going to do exactly what I promised myself I was going to do. Okay. I'm going to wait till Sunday, watch where the public is, and then go to the exact opposite side. So I hope the Chiefs number continues to rise and rise and rise. And when we get to a 4.5 or a 5, I'll hit Denver and then take my money and walk away.
The Chiefs are not a team that covers. They historically during the Mahomes era, they don't cover.
No, but like when you're in under a score, it's tough because
it is tough to
cover that.
Yep, no doubt about it. Subi, let me come over to you because Mahomes, and I don't know what the magic is, but for some reason you give Andy Reid 2 weeks, a reset, and he's almost unbeatable. But you got to throw the number into it for the discussion.
Yeah, coming off a bye, they are just absolutely tough to beat when you get that rest advantage. In Denver, these comebacks are great. But how many more times can you actually play under pressure and then finally come through, especially against a team like the Chiefs? Right now, I will take the Chiefs at -3.5. And if that number does rise, if it goes to 4.5, 5, I'll take the Broncos to get cover, and I'll take both tickets and go home.
Wow. So you're going to do a 2-point middle, a
Yeah.
Raphael middle?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So you're willing to lay the juice and get it like 3.5 and 5 or whatever the case might be. All right. Interesting. All right.
Money don't make money.
That's true. Somebody in Indiana said that. Scared money don't make no money. All right. On the NFC side, this one's interesting because there's a lot of storylines that go into where the Lions are at, Zeno, and where the Eagles are at right now. And the Eagles, much like the Broncos, they just won a game 10-7. It was ugly, but they got it done on Monday Night Football. Now they come home. A.J. Brown has doubled down on the offense has got to do better. I'm not talking about the defense. I'm talking about the offense. We got to do better. They're laying 2.5 against a Lions team that has figured out, and they are on that run that we see from the Lions every single year during the Dan Campbell era, the last 3 years. I love the Lions in this spot.
I mean, I lean the Lions, but here's the problem. If you look at Jared Goff's outdoor road splits versus home, bad. It's really bad. He does not play well outdoors and in the cold and never has. I think the Lions are another good teaser piece this week, despite the total being a little bit higher than you'd like. But nonetheless, I don't think the Eagles offense can separate and win the thing by 2 scores without the help of some sort of special teams or defensive touchdown or whatever it may be. But for the most part, the Lions should be very competitive in this game. I don't know. I like a side one way or another. I don't trust Jared Goff on the road, but I would definitely tease the Lions up to 8.5.
I think they're a very welcome dance partner for sure if you want to play another team, Big Chuck, because plus 8.5, the Eagles simply can't score enough right now, and you don't flip that switch in 1 week.
Lions at 2.5. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be locked in as probably one of the most popular teaser pieces. Even though I like the Eagles in this spot. Even look at the money line though, -155. Normally you see the -135. That's telling you a lot also. So they 14-1 their last 15 at home. I'm definitely liking the Eagles. I was wanting to fade them in this spot, but I just like them, and I'm looking at the potentially under. I think we may see a lower scoring game with the good old Eagles.
Sunday night is going to be cold. You're going to see the breath, all of that soupy. And I can't wait to watch this game. I can't wait to see where we're at Sunday night and what the public feels like. Because you can feel that momentum. There's a reason we talk about the public side and the sharp side. Because I think we're going to have a very clear-cut side once we get to Sunday night around 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that the storylines of this game will be clear cut by the time we get to that Sunday night game. Here's the thing, though. This is last week. The Packers didn't have Tucker Kraft, their best receiver and their tight end. This week, the Lions might not have Sam Laporta. He has not practiced all week. He's dealing with an injury. If they don't have Sam Laporta, they need that big guy in the passing game. Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown, great receiver, but they need that big man. So if they don't have Laporta, I think that the Eagles could run away with this game because I don't think that the Lions will have another weapon to compete with the Lions.
Well, that's interesting, and definitely these big tight ends affect the numbers for the wideouts. 30 seconds in, I'll let you wrap this up. Is there a player that you would lean into from a prop perspective? Because, Sunday nights, they're standalones. People like those props.
You don't need a tight end when you have Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, that's the one thing the Packers didn't have, that type of player. And the Lions have receivers all over the field. The Green Bay does not. And so, while I understand Soupy's point about Tucker Kraft, the best target not being there, it's different with the Lions. And real quick, the dome stats versus outdoor stats. His completion percentage dropped 60%, right? Or 6% rather. And in outdoor dome stats, 87 touchdowns, 37 turnovers. Outdoor, 103 touchdowns, 72 turnovers. The numbers are staggering for Goff outdoors.
All right. Very, very good. Let that register. Take the information for yourself. On the other side, it's NBA Showcase. It's NBA Cup. It's going to be a great night in the NBA. We focus on 2 next. Coaching Company, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, boys, and those of you that are watching on our YouTube channel, Nico Harrison, he's gone. Dallas, no more. But apparently, Zeno, Mr. Mark Cuban is back in the decision-making chair. Is he going to clean house and start over?
I think the short answer is yes, but I don't know that the time is right now to do that. Nothing has value in Dallas right now. Everything is down. You don't want to sell low. You want to sell high. So some of these guys got to start playing again. Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, they got to start playing and create wins and create value before they can move them.
It's hard to watch them right now, Subi. It feels like a team. Even watching Cooper Flagg, he doesn't look like the number one pick in the draft.
Yeah, it's painful to watch because I was hyped up on Cooper Flagg. But right now, these pieces that they have, Anthony Davis, he's hurt. Kyrie Irving, he's not coming back for a while. Klay Thompson, I think he's past his prime. So what are you, if you're cleaning house, what are you going to get in return? You're not getting any picks. You're not getting young guys back. So I think this is going to be a long process for Dallas to get back to any sort of relevance.
And Big Chuck, I know you're my pop culture guy, so I know you know that right now Klay Thompson is busy with an online feud backing his boo thing because she's getting accused of, distracting him this season. Your thoughts?
I don't think it's her fault. I just think that's Klay. He's just spiraling down. But Pat Bev has some good points. So he's not wrong in his statements. That's Klay. The Warriors knew what they were doing, not re-signing him. And the Mavericks, they were gullible enough to go ahead and trust in him. Now they're stuck with him.
Wow. Found out yesterday he turned down 4 years, $80 million to go to the Lakers, to go play with Luka in Dallas. And then Luka gets traded to the Lakers. I wonder if he's saying right now, oh, my God, what did I do? But he's still making $14 million. Let's not feel sorry for Klay. And he's dating Megan Thee Stallion. So he's winning. He's winning. No one? Okay. It's time to look at the NBA games. We're back live in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. When your daughter texts you and says, Dad, don't be alarmed, but I have to rent a $3 movie from Amazon Prime for my watch party today. Hey, she's supporting the brand. We are live right now on Amazon Prime. So, sweetheart, you go ahead and rent that movie. Support the brand. Now, NBA. Every single night, there is at least one nationally televised game. The NBA Cup, they're weaving these nights through the regular season schedule. And these players are playing for big-time bonuses. So you see a little extra energy. And tonight, it's one of my best bets. I think it's going to be incredibly entertaining at Madison Square Garden. And Zeno, let's start with you because you got the Heat and the Knicks. The total is high. The Heat are a completely different team this year as far as playing pace. And the Knicks, when they play a team like this, they are very open to playing sped up as well. Your take?
Yeah, Miami's 7th in the NBA in pace. And when you talk about offensive efficiency, they're a top 12 team and the Knicks are 4th. So these are both teams that can score. The Knicks are averaging about 123 a game at home, one of the top in the league. And I don't know that Miami necessarily plays a lot of defense, or at least defense of note. When you look at them, this is a team that's very middle of the road in defensive efficiency. So I think the Knicks will be able to pour it on tonight and bounce back after the loss they took the other night, finishing up what is a 7-game homestand.
And that would be the narrative or the game script that we would need. Because, Soupy, the Heat playing from behind, that's exactly what you want when you're having an opposite team total and a total in the game.
Yeah, I think the Knicks are a better team offensively than the Heat, but the Heat still one of the top offensive teams. I don't know why this is a 238. I think this could be a 240. I think both teams are going to score 120 points tonight. I'm taking that over all day.
Boom. Thank you very much for validating my over pick. Big Chuck, where are you landing on this game?
Definitely like the over. It still blows my mind seeing Heats with total of 238. So coming off last season when they were 203s, 202s. I even think I've seen 199s with them. But definitely like, I think a higher scoring game, though. I think that gives the Heat a better chance to cover. I think they can stay within that 5.5. Definitely look at points. Look at those first quarter points, first half points. I think the beat goes on with these two.
Yeah, the Knicks had their off game. Their off game was 2 nights ago against Orlando when they couldn't throw it in the ocean. That will not happen 2 nights in a row. And there is a vibe, guys, to a Friday night at Madison Square Garden. It's a thing. And if anybody's ever been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a different energy on a Friday night in New York City, especially as we're heading into the holidays. It's fantastic. Now, game number 2 tonight. It's a game we just saw a couple of nights ago, and Steph Curry went bananas. But this is now an NBA Cup game, Zeno, and this is the Spurs and the Warriors. And I feel like already the Spurs are coming back down from their red-hot start, and teams are starting to figure out how to attack Wemby, and that is to attack Wemby. Your take?
I mean, look, NBA Cup games are different for whatever reason. The players treat them differently. Everything acts differently. So it's harder to handicap some of these games like they are a regular season game, but we understand the dynamics here because there's money involved. So players are actually playing a little bit differently in these spots. It's weird that they are all of a sudden a 2.5-point favorite, which makes me think the Spurs are the right side.
Kind of feels that way. I felt that way 2 nights ago. They had a double-digit lead, and then the rest of the game, they did nothing. Soupy, to Zeno's point, the winning team, over $500,000 to each player. And for a guy on the end of the bench making the league minimum, that's almost his yearly salary. Your take?
Yeah, that's why that's why I love watching these games, because they are competitive. You getting a competitive game like this in November, it's incredible for the league. Yeah, the Warriors only won this game by 5 the last time, but I think they're going to win it by more. San Antonio still struggles against the 3, and Golden State is the best 3-point shooting team in the league. I think Steph Curry can have another one of those type games like he had in the last matchup. I'm going to take the Warriors to win this game outright.
And Steph Curry is kind of on a showcase right now. He's trying to show these other companies, hey, I'm still your guy. So you don't think he wants to go off tonight, back up that 46-point performance? I think he does. All right, full slate of NBA games tonight, but also we're going to have a ton of check marks from all of my guys, including myself. It's time to lock it in. Big Soupy, I want you to start us off. 2 plays, go.
Clemson absolutely needs to win this game to even be bowl eligible. Going to Louisville, who have struggled at home against Boston College and Cal. Come on. Clemson on the money line. I'm taking the Flyers on the money line. 4th in goals allowed, 3rd in penalty kill, and in the Blues, they are struggling. 3.77 goals allowed per game. I think the Flyers get it done on the road.
That is an 8 o'clock start, one of 4 games tonight in the NHL. Zeno, let's come over to you.
Knicks team total over 122.5. Knicks finishing up a 7-game homestand. They've played 8 home games this year so far. They've gone to at least 119 in 6 of them. Coming off a bad outing against the Magic, they bounce back tonight, score over this number. And then tomorrow, Michigan State plus 7.5. Penn State left it all on the field against Iowa. They have to go on the road now to play a Michigan State team coming off a bye that desperately needs a win. I'm not sure Michigan State wins it outright, but I think they cover the 7.5.
All right, very, very good. I love that. I'm going to go next because I love the Heat and the Knicks over 238.5. And Big Cheesy, I see you. You like Mikal Bridges over 17.5? We'll throw that on there too. Ton of points tonight, regardless of who is on the court for the Heat and the Knicks. I also like in college football, Minnesota and Oregon. Oregon, everybody's saying they don't belong. They shouldn't still be there. The way they beat Iowa, Dan Lanning wants to make a statement. And they may cover this on their own tonight. 44.5 on their fast track. Yeah, give it to me all freaking day. Big Chuck, talk to me.
Who needs Footy Friday when we have a European World Cup qualifier between Poland and Netherlands? The Polish side, they average 1.7 team goals at home, while the Dutch, they score an average of 2.7 on the road. I'll go ahead and back the over 2.75. I think we see 3 at worst. In NHL nightcap, Vancouver and Carolina. Vancouver has went over the total in 7 straight, and then Carolina 7 of 8 at home. I'll go ahead and take the over 8 for the NHL nightcap.
By the
over
way,
6. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Speaking of the NHL, real quick, Pittsburgh and Nashville, a 2:00 start today. Can anybody tell me why?
They are playing in Berlin, I think.
Oh, they're trying to do the NFL thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. Money, yeah.
Okay, go get that money. You guys know on Fridays, I like to know what you guys are going to be watching over the weekend and or tonight. Soupy, what's going to be on your television streaming screen?
College football and NFL all weekend. Maybe I'll sprinkle in a little appetizer Christmas movie.
You are so soft. Zeno, what are you doing this weekend?
I support the Christmas movie. Lights are already up. Decorations are coming up this weekend. We're
I
locked
would have
in.
never expected him to say
I would
that.
I would
Never.
not in a million years.
I'm the biggest
Never.
Christmas guy ever. I mean,
You're the biggest Christmas guy ever.
yeah, absolutely.
I know, that's hilarious, Soupy. It's hilarious. Big Chuck.
Support the Christmas movie. Well, I mean, so it's time to break out Christmas Vacation. Let's go.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting into my
Wouldn't be the Christmas season without the stores any hotter than they already are.
I never thought it would go this direction. Big Chuck, are you watching Christmas Vacation this weekend?
You have to get that in at least once. Maybe some Elf. There's some good classic opportunities to take advantage of. A little NBA Cup tonight also. Where can you go wrong?
I will say this: I do watch scripted. I'm a big scripted guy, and I love the trash TV, the Real Housewives. I will put the scripted on the big screen with the sound, and then I have the game on my iPad or my phone. It's kind of how so I don't need the sound to keep track of the show's bets and the Zenometer, which now is a really big thing in my life. Just where it's at, tenor of the show. Gentlemen, great week. Producer man, you know what time it is? Give me that one shot. It's now time for all of you to go out into the world. If this is the end of your work week, enjoy it. You put in a long week. You have hung out with us. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy sports. That's why we have them. And understand, we've got the podcast coming up at 11:15 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow, on demand, posted by 10 o'clock or earlier. Sunday, we are live at 10 a.m. Eastern time to get you set for a huge day in the NFL. But remember, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets and all of this weekend straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all. My man Soupy, Zeno, Big Chuck, producer man Mikey P, always helping out as well. I am simply the coach. Try to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day. This is Coach and Company, Stadium, Valley Sports Live. Have a great day.